Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lainey and I am a current VIP kid teacher and an Outschool teacher. Normally I say that I am a new hire with Outschool, but I'm not going to say that today because I just completed my first month with Outschool. I am on my 5th week teaching with Outschool and this is super exciting. I have so much to share. If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you want to know all about my pay, my schedule, the pros and the cons, and maybe some of my plans for what I plan to do with the upcoming school semester, fall semester, school year. I don't know, whatever. So I have so much to share today. First, I want to start off by saying if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to go and do that. I am very active on there. I talk all about Outschool all the time. I talk a lot about Outschool. I give a ton of tips and tricks, things that are going on in my own classroom. I answer a lot of questions from you guys there. And I even like to share other Outschool teachers' classes. I have a whole highlight called Outschool by You, where I like to share classes by other teachers because maybe you have a learner that's looking for something. I know I always am. I'm a 4.5-year-old. No. I have a 4.5-year-old daughter, so I'm always looking for classes for her, and I think this is a cool way for you to look and search what other teachers are doing and maybe even feel inspired by them. Also, if you're not already doing so, make sure that you you can't tell, I'm very excited and I had a lot of coffee today. If you have not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for all the updates that I have coming out on Outschool. I have so much content to share, like sometimes it's hard for me to choose what to share because there's just so much to talk about with this amazing platform. So let's go ahead and get started talking about my first month with Outschool, what all I've learned, what all I've made, what all I have really grown to be as a teacher. For somebody who's not a teacher, I don't have a teaching degree or a certificate or license or anything. So if you find that this video is helpful to you, be sure to give it a big thumbs up because I love sharing with you guys and I love hearing from all of you too. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk about pay. I want to preface all of this by saying that I am not sharing any of this to brag. I recently was looking at a post in a Outschool teacher Facebook group, which I really need to just get out of those because everyone seems to be a little bit negative in those. But someone was saying that people who share this information on YouTube are bragging, and that's not what I'm doing here. I'm doing this to show what I've made and how I did it, how I've made the amount of money that I've made, so that hopefully other people can see success as well. So let's just talk about, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and give week by week the amount that I made and the number of hours that I taught, and then I'm going to talk about what I charge individually for classes. So my first week I taught a total of 3 hours and I made $214.20. So I started off real slow, and I actually started off doing $9 per learner in my classes. I started off with my astronaut training course, which has just skyrocketed. I have not had anything less than fully booked for that class since I started, which is amazing and I'm very, very grateful for. I put a lot of time into that class, probably the most time into that class, so I see why it's so successful because I truly have put so much into that class and I love it, and I think that's why maybe my learners love it also. So I started off with $214 for that week of 3 hours of teaching. The second week of the month I taught 8 hours for a total of $594.30. Now these numbers are also after Outschool takes their 30%. It does not account for taxes. I do that separately. I save elsewhere with those for that. This is me taking home from Outschool. It does not include what I'm paying for taxes at the end of the year. So for the third week, you'll see a little bit of a jump here, a little bit of a difference. It was $947.80, and that was for 11.5 hours of teaching. So at a certain point when I was teaching over the last month, I saw how much some of my classes were in demand. I have had well over 300 saves for my astronaut training course, and over 200 for my paleontology course, which, by the way, take a look at those saves. If you have like a ton of classes, look at the saves. You're going to see which ones are most popular and which ones you should keep rolling through, and utilize until you just can't get any more learners out of it, because that tells me a lot too. And that's probably why I've made so much money over the past month and little amount of teaching and a little amount of prep, because I've kind of just swapped through those two classes the most. I have taught some of the other ones as well, but those two seem to be booked fully all the time, and that's because they're high in demand. I have a lot of saves and a lot of requests from parents to schedule those classes. The last week I made $1,099, and that was for 11 hours of teaching. So you can see there's this shift, and what I did starting that third week is I actually changed the amount per learner. I saw that they were high in demand, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and increase my price. I talk about this a lot on Instagram, to make your price what you feel you're worth. If you've put in a ton of hours and a ton of thought and energy into these classes that you're making, then you should be paid what you feel like you deserve. And I can promise every single one of my learners and their parents or families that I have put in a lot into these classes. And I want them to be as enjoyable just as much as the parents want their kids to enjoy them. I would want the same for my daughter, and I want teachers to do the same for her. So that's why I decided that I went from $9 per learner. Now I'm up to $12 per learner. I did that over time. I didn't come out of the gate with that. And I also, once I was really comfortable teaching these classes, I increased the amount of learners that I allow in each class. So my niche is really with 4 to 6 year olds. Most of my classes are for that age range. And I was keeping them at 2 to 6 kids per class, and now I have increased that to 7. So I'm getting that extra learner and that extra money coming in for those classes because I'm so comfortable teaching them now that I know I can handle another learner. You may teach a different age range, and Outschool will give you what they suggest for how many students you should have in those classes. And I say definitely start with their suggestions. If you feel like you can handle more, don't go crazy. But like if you want to add 1 or 2 more learners in at a time, I say absolutely. If you think that you can handle it and you have tried it and you truly can, I say do it. That's an easy way to get more money, but also make sure that you're fully engaging with every person in the class. You don't want it to get out of control, because then that learner experience is just going to go away. So for that first month, I taught for 33 and a half hours, and I made $2,855. What? Like, what? I mean, you just can't beat it. You can't beat it. And I know I've said this in a previous video, but people say all the time, you know, they talk about how much money you make with Outschool, but not about how much time you put in other than teaching. Yes, I put in a lot of time other than teaching, but I don't consider that in here. Outside of my initial prep for the classes, which my first class, the astronaut training class, took me probably 2 hours, I would say, to complete from beginning to end. And then I've tweaked it over time. The first class that I taught is not this, I don't teach it the same as I do now. I don't teach it the same now as I did then, because I've tweaked it so much. I've added things, I've taken things away, which is a great thing about Outschool. So don't be afraid to tweak it. But again, that is time put in, but that's because I'm making $117 an hour. So if I'm making $117 an hour, then I better be putting in that work, right? This isn't free money. This is the way that I see it. Yes, I put in a lot of time, I put in a lot of effort, but it's paying off over and over and over again, because now I'm teaching these classes, like my paleontology class and my astronaut training class. I'm teaching these classes so many times a week, and I don't have to prep a thing. I come in 5 minutes before class time, turn on my computer, get things set up, boom, I'm ready to go. I don't have to prep for a thing. And that's where you want to be. You want to get to a point where your classes are so good and they're almost perfection, and you don't have to tweak anymore. So putting that time in up front, it is what it is, if you ask me. So yeah, I'd say that pay was phenomenal this month, this first month with Outschool. I'm really excited about it. I just feel like what a blessing, how grateful. I can't even tell you how grateful I am, because this is everything to me, to be able to have this creative outlet. As somebody who's not a teacher and doesn't have a teaching degree or a teaching certificate, it means a lot to me to be able to find something that I'm passionate about, and to have this creative outlet, and to also be making a difference, hopefully. I mean, I hope I am, right? I think that's something that all teachers hope, is that you're making a difference. So let's talk about schedule. Now, I talk about this on my Instagram also, that I have a sitter. I have 2 kids under the age of 5, so I'm normally a stay-at-home mom or a work-from-home mom. But I do have 2 kids, so it's been important for me to have a sitter. I have a sitter right now that comes 5 days a week. She's here anywhere between 3 to 6 hours a day, and I try to teach as much as I can in those times. She's actually going to be a sophomore in college this year, so she's leaving in August to go back to school. So I only have a few more weeks with her, and I am in the process of trying to figure out what my new schedule is going to be. I have taught classes at all times. At 6:30 in the morning, I typically most days will teach anywhere from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I'm Eastern Standard Time. And then I've also taught a number of classes on the weekends and at night at like 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8. All of those times I've had full bookings, full classes. So I found that really they all work. And schedule is not something that I worry too much about, especially with, my sitter leaving. I have options. I have many options. So I am really pumped about that you have a ton of flexibility when it comes to Outschool. So I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do once my kids are back in preschool. But there will be a 3-week lull there between my sitter being gone and my kids going back to school. There will be a 3-week period there where I won't be able to teach during the day like I am now. And that's okay. I'll be able to do it at night or on the weekends and make money that way. And then once they're back in school, figuring out what's going to work best for me. I won't be able to teach as much, but again, that's okay. That's what Outschool is about, right? Is figuring out that balance. And it's a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to balance the two. For me, working is self-care. Teaching is self-care. I love my children, but sometimes I want a mental break. And for me, this is a mental break. Others, it's getting their nails done or watching TV. And I wish that was my case, but it's not. I wish that's what it took for me to have self-care, but it's not. It's this. And I really am happy about that. So those are some changes that are going to be coming for me with Outschool. Also, speaking of changes with Outschool and my future with Outschool, my district has decided that they're going to be 100% virtual learning, which I think a lot of school districts are saying that they're going to be virtual, and that's sad. I feel sad. I'm actually grateful that my daughter is not going into kindergarten this year, and I feel awful for those parents that are having to deal with that. But it also makes me grateful for Outschool, because I get to keep this train rolling, and I get to keep enjoying doing this, and hopefully at an even greater level. Maybe there will be even more people that will join Outschool classes, and we'll be able to see that increase in learner participation. So those are things that I'm working on. I'm working on a semester long class. I haven't decided if it's going to be preschool or kindergarten aged. Something that I can do for like a 10-week period and see children a couple of times a week to work on basic curriculum of preschool, kindergarten curriculum, not anything too specific. So I don't know yet. I don't know where I'm going to go with that. I'm also working on a flex class, like a phonics flex class, which if you haven't been with Outschool or you don't know what a flex class is, it's all pre-recorded. They're not live classes. It's something that I record in advance, and it's student paced. So learners can do it on their own time. They will sign up for the class, and they will watch videos and do printables and worksheets that maybe I send, and we'll talk a lot on Outschool's platform through messaging and sending videos that way, but it's all learner paced and not a specific time that you have to attend a live meeting. So I'm working on that as well. Now, there are a lot of things that I feel are pros to Outschool. There's so much flexibility is really and truly number one. The flexibility in scheduling classes. I recently had my family dog. We just found out that we had to put him down. And so I had to travel to my parents' house to be there with them. And I had to cancel a class on Outschool. And it was refreshing to see that I sent a message to the learners' parents and I apologized immensely. I refunded all of them and advised that I had to deal with the loss of a pet, that it was unexpected. I opened a number of classes the following week and said that if they were interested, they could re-enroll in those, but I did not force them to transfer. And that was it. I did not have to prove anything to Outschool. I didn't have to send in my dog's death certificate. I didn't have to wait for a soft or a medium cancellation. That was it. There was no penalty from Outschool. I really and truly feel like with Outschool, you are a contractor. You get to make your own schedule, and you're responsible for yourself as a teacher. And I enjoy that because I feel like I'm an adult and I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize my job with Outschool, because I love it. And so they don't have to have that control. And I enjoy that a lot. So schedule is huge. Flexibility with that schedule is just huge. And the creativity alone, for me, I feel like I'm a pretty creative person and I thrive when I'm able to create things and really just do things that are unique and different. And for me, this allows me to do that. Like, I think about Outschool a lot during the day, and that's because it's just in me to create these amazing classes, and I love that. I love being able to have something that I can do with that. So those are definitely the pros. 100%, those are the pros, and nothing else can compare. Now, there are some cons that I have. Of course, I do have some cons, and really the main one would be their platform. Their online platform, it just is not very user-friendly on the teaching side. On the parent side, it's fine. I don't really see any problems on the parent side, but on the teaching side, there's a lot of things that I wish they would update, like being able to see pay. That's a big one. Like, you have to keep track of your own pay really well. You have to keep track of that. You will get PayPal notices that they've paid you, but other than that, you get nothing. Like, it doesn't show you in Outschool how much money you made per class or anything like that. I wish they would update that. That would be super, super helpful to teachers. Also, how you can schedule or see your schedule on Outschool. I don't really love that either. It's just not user friendly. I do like that you can sync it with like your phone calendar, your Outschool schedule. I do like that, but still I wish that the way they had it set up was a little more appealing. It's difficult for me to schedule classes because I feel like I'm toggling back and forth with seeing, where it's at. I don't know. They need like a calendar view or something. They need something that's a little bit more than what they're giving because it's not very friendly. The other thing that I don't really love about Outschool is their referral process. I do a lot of referring and I really enjoy referring. I love seeing teachers' creativity and what they're doing to stand out and helping them along the way. But their referral process, it says all you have to do is hit the link and you'll be linked to me. No, that's not the case. It's been a battle that I've been going back and forth with them on. It turns out that basically anybody who's been using my list, I don't know anything about it. You're not showing up on my list. And unless I know about it and we both email Outschool to say that you should be on my referral list, then I don't know about it. So if you're in the process of starting with Outschool and maybe you're interested in referring, or you have a friend that you are referring and you want to see that referral money, you need to make sure that you're both emailing Outschool and letting them know that they need to be on your referral list. Otherwise, you probably won't know about it and you won't see it. So that's one thing that they also need to improve on, but that goes with their platform. They need to update their platform because I don't know if it can handle everything that's happening because they're growing immensely. So that would be another con that I would say. But other than that, that's all that I have for their cons. I enjoy Outschool so much. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really hoping that I can find a schedule that's going to work for me and my family, so I can continue to teach the way that I've been teaching. And I'm really enjoying learning new ways that I can bring technology into my classroom, which is another video that I'm going to have coming soon. I don't know how soon because I'm in the process of making some new classes that are, like I said, semester long and a flex, but they're using a ton of technology that I am so excited to share about. I like could scream. I'm so excited about it. So yeah, these are all of the things that have happened in the first month with Outschool, and I just can't even believe I'm already into my second month, and that I made $2,800, almost $2,900. That just like blows my mind for 33 hours of teaching. So if you're interested in Outschool and you're looking for somebody to help guide you along the way, my referral link is down below, but make sure that you send me an email or a DM on Instagram first. Otherwise, I have no idea and I can't help you. So send me a message if you're interested. And if you're already on Outschool, I'd love to hear from you if you've done a flex class, what you like about it, what you don't, or if you've done a semester long class, what you like about it, what you don't. So shoot me a comment down below and let me know about that as well. And I guess I will see you guys very soon. I have so much content coming your way, so make sure you're hitting that subscribe and notification bell. And I will talk to you guys really soon. Bye, everybody.